Welcome to this technical deep dive into some of the background lore of the Hegira Contravention series. My name is Drew Wagar, and I'm the author of this series of space opera books. The key power source in the Hegira universe is the complete mastery of fusion. Fusing deuterium, extracted from seawater, is the primary way of generating electricity in the Hegira universe and is used for pretty much everything. It's ubiquitous everywhere, powering cities, individual homes, spacecraft, thrusters. All sorts of innovations have been built on the mastery of fusion. This is an extremely widespread technology and it's extremely prevalent. It's extremely well understood and it's been refined to a high art, which means that it's very, very, very efficient as well. The widespread use of fusion power has given effectively almost limitless distribution of electricity to the citizens of the Hegira universe, which means that they have an enormous amount of power at their disposal. And the fact that it's a clean energy source as well means that they don't have to wrestle with some of the climate impacts that more primitive technologies such as fossil fuels would have to deal with. Effectively, they have unlimited clean energy at their disposal for all sorts of uses, and they put that to use wide and far. Water, therefore, is an extremely valuable commodity. It's used as spacecraft fuel. It's used as the main fuel for all of these fusion reactions across the various different planets. And the transport of water, therefore, is a very, very key part of the Hegiran economy, meaning that anywhere with large water supplies is automatically going to be extremely rich. Technology is extremely high-tech by modern standards, but it's still recognisable. We have rapid transport systems, we have surface-to-air vehicles, we have interplanetary shuttles, we have space stations, we have interplanetary craft, and we have a limited form of interstellar travel as well. However, these are all subject to the laws of physics, pretty much, apart from the interstellar stuff, and there's no way to magically deal with gravity or inertia or any of those kind of things, so acceleration limits and power generation limits have to be within reasonable amounts, but they are significantly more powerful than anything we'd experience here on Earth in the present day. That said, there have been major advances in building materials, in structural techniques, so some of the capabilities of the Hegiran societies are significantly advanced of anything we would recognise, but not something that would be otherworldly to our eyes. It's a high-tech environment, but most of that technology is taken for granted by the people who live in these places. But it does mean that humanity has been able to colonise planets where the atmosphere isn't breathable, and build civilizations, build towns and cities in places that would currently be inhospitable to us. Communication technology is very similar to what we would have here in the 21st century. The laws of physics dictate that you can't travel faster than light in terms of communications, and that is a limitation that still exists today. Whilst the efficiency and the range of communications is significantly increased, and the ubiquity of different types of communication is much more widespread, the fundamental limits apply, which means that communication between systems effectively can't take place faster than light speed, and in fact there is an economy of spacecraft taking messages through the mesh gates in order to keep different systems apprised of updates. Just transferring messages is a big business for some of the couriers in the universe. In the systems, light speed still applies, so interplanetary communication is delayed by significant amounts of time, and any ship-to-ship communications are also delayed due to the distance, depending on the relative position of those ships. The same applies to any kind of scanning or detection technology. It's subject to the conditions of the speed of light. Computer technology has advanced considerably. The processing capabilities are entirely off the scale for anything that we would recognise today, which means computers are able to do in real time some of the things that it would take us an awfully long time to computers today. Everything can be modelled, everything can be designed, everything can be effectively 3D printed, constructed within seconds, and that includes food, that includes spacecraft repair parts, and pretty much anything that you would want to do. Virtually instantaneous repair of technology is possible. However, this only applies to the most technically advanced systems. There's a significant strata in the Hegira universe where some civilizations do not have access to this sort of technology and are very much envious of the fact that other people do. So there's quite a lot of have and have-nots in the Hegira universe in terms of what the technology is capable of. Things like holograms and high-speed computers, 3D printing, even food printing are commonplace, and most of the problems to do with encryption and interception have been solved. Another significant area of advancement in the intervening years, particularly in some of the high-tech areas of the Hegira universe, has been the use of DNA sequencing and genome editing. Basically, what's been achieved by this point in time is that your genes can be edited pretty much at will to give you enhanced capabilities. This could be superior physical capabilities, physical strength to deal with higher gravity worlds, the ability to process different atmospheric compounds so that you can breathe in a non-oxygen atmosphere, and potentially any other kind of physiological changes as well, so potentially extra limbs and more esoteric modifications along those lines. Now, what this does mean is that particularly the crews of military vessels have been often biologically enhanced to cater for the experience of being on a military ship with high G maneuvers and the kind of harsh life that goes with being on a military ship. Humans have been modified to cope with various different environments, leading to certainly a much greater variety in human forms than we would experience here today. This doesn't just apply to applications such as the military. What you find in the, again, very rich strata of Hegiran societies is that people will undertake genetic modifications simply for fun. They will modify themselves to be able to live in aquatic environments. They will modify themselves to be able to fly in low-G environments and take on animal traits, or change their skin colour, or change their hair, or grow fur, even add extra limbs and so on and so forth. So the scope for this kind of technology is widespread and capable. Some societies shun it entirely. The hegemony, for example, would frown upon this kind of modification as unacceptable, but other more kind of freewheeling organisations will simply view it as a form of entertainment, and there'll be new genetic modifications on offer every few weeks, and you'll simply go down to the hologrammatic catalogue of modifications and choose what you fancy doing for the next couple of weeks, and you'll be guided through a process of transforming yourself. So the technology in the Hegira universe is an extrapolation of what we can do today, but taken to further extremes, but hopefully nothing that pushes the boundary of believability. Hope you've enjoyed a little technical deep dive into some of the background, and look forward to the next video.